everybody. So pretty much, okay, I'm going to be doing root chakra therapy. I'm doing it myself, and I thought it could help people that are like, looking up like binaural beats to like balance their chakras or reconstruct their chakras or anything like that. Like you can actually do like therapy for it. So I have like a worksheet for it, so I'm gonna share it with people just in case like it will help you. Um, I'm a light worker, so I'm like human angelic guidance. I'm an indigo, a star seed. Like I have my own crystal. Like yeah, so pretty much like what I'm here for is like to help other people, share my wisdom. Um, yeah, like so like we're in the Piscean age, like transferring into the Aquarius age, if anybody knows what that means. So there's going to be people that are spiritually awakened before other people that are supposed to transfer the energies from the Piscean age into the Aquarius, because like technically we're in the Aquarius, but some like we're still like living in the Piscean age. So there's going to be people like me as light workers that are supposed to bring in the new energies into the spiritual energies that the Aquarius age like mm, persist in. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of me because this is what I'm here for, and my angels and the universe are bringing to me and telling me what I have to do. So we're going to start off. Oh, my channel, people are like, oh, hey, like, whatever, like, they call you things. I'm gonna call you guys wild things. And you might already know, like, this quote, but this is why. Again, this is my, like, beginning, so, like, I have stuff written down, like, all organized. So the reason why I'm calling everybody the wild things, and, like, that's how I'm gonna be like, hey, wild things, like, yeah. So to me, where the wild things are is a place that exists in our minds. It's a place of liberty, shamelessness. It can take a split second or a lifetime to find it, but once you do, you'll be free. There's a wild thing that exists in all of us. It lives in our passions, in the people we love, in our subconscious thoughts or beliefs. It's even made a home in the darkest parts of us, but we can't be scared of it. We have to become it. So that's what I'm going by for calling everybody. Okay, so let's get started. Sorry, I just had a granola bar. It's like stuck in my teeth. All right. Root chakra. So, you are here in order to enable the world to live more amply with greater vision, with a spirit of hope and achievement. You are here to enrich the world, and you improve yourself if you forgot the errand. So that is said by Woodrow Wilson. And you can like pause this video because like you have to actually like do a like write stuff down and like do like kind of like homework, but not really. Like it's like a worksheet type thing. So feel free to pause this, write stuff down if you want to take notes on anything, whatever. So I'm just sharing the wisdom. All right. So I don't know if people know what the root chakra is technically. It's the first of the major chakras to be activated and develop. It and its health predicts how we feel about ourselves, the world, and our place in it. We have the capacity to embrace life in all its kaleidoscope glory, cherishing ourselves as amazing spiritual beings here in human form. Which, yeah, we're spiritual beings and living a human experience. We have the capacity to be secure and self-confident even when things are difficult, knowing we will survive. So, okay, so what this is going to do, and I'm going to break it up into different videos, so, like, this will be, like, the first thing to do, and then, like, I'll make another video and, like, add on to it. So, tonight, it's flipping, like, 2:30 in the morning right now, and my kid's not home. Oh, my God. Yeah, my dog's crazy, by the way. You'll see more of him, and he's obsessed with me. So, He's my spirit dog. He pretty much is everything I hate about myself. Well, not hate. I don't hate. Should not have said that. He's everything that, like, my flaws, especially from when I was a kid. He's a brat. Okay, so what you can hope to gain from working with your root chakra with the information I'm going to give you. So, an improvement in your general energy and sense of well-being, a greater sense of inner security, and therefore less anxiety and improved sleep. Grounding, so that rather than just feeling better, you will be better and therefore more able to deal with the ups and downs of life. Sorry, the dog's in my way. Acknowledgement of your inner beauty and unique worth, giving you more self-esteem and self-confidence. The knowledge that you are a magnificent spiritual being, essential to the total universal plan, and that your contribution, whatever it may be, like I'm a light worker, is worthwhile and unique. And everybody has a purpose, and I'll explain in other videos, like, how I came to this point, like, how, whatever, like, my journey. I'll give tips on grounding methods, other stuff that I've learned in my own experiences, and yeah, okay. So, also, the knowledge that you are, I already said that. Okay, security in your own identity and joy in the success and empowerment of others, the abolition of guilt and shame about what has happened in your life thus far, and confidence in the prospect of better stability and health. Like, this is really good stuff. And I did this already, so, like, I know, like, the effects that it has. Like, while you're doing it, literally, like, you feel grounded and centered, and it calms you down, and like, everything. Like, I felt, like, a state of calm, like, peace, like, when I was doing it. Okay, I feel it right now just by, like, reading it. So, healing of addictions and unwanted behavior, as well as physical complaints associated with the root chakra, which can also be mental illnesses and, stuff like that. Unhealthy thinking, mindsets. It can change your beliefs, have paradigm shifts, like a radical shift in your whole, like, belief system, just by developing your root chakra and working on it. So now why not look at the following questions and assess for yourself and work for need to be here. Alright, so, dog! Alright, so this is a self-assessment questionnaire. Like, pretty much, if you answer yes to most of these, then you may as well have a problem with your root chakra. And then we're going to start on things, how to heal it. These are things that happen in your upbringing, normally in your early stages. It could be in your later stages too, but, like, you're developing your root chakra, like, from birth to, like, a certain age. Like, I think it's, like, 6, like, up to 6 or 7 or something. But, like, the things that have happened to you, like, these are the things that, like, prevent you from creating and developing your root chakra, which is your first chakra. Oh my god. Your first chakra that, like, needs to be developed in order to have certain things. Oh my goodness. Certain things, like, within your body, your mind, like, whatever. So let's go through it. So, and if you want to write these down, like, which ones resonate with you, or even all of them. So, self-assessment questionnaire. The first one is, have you ever felt that you do not belong anywhere, or that you are lonely wherever you are? So that's the first one. That can also mean that you're an indigo, or light worker, like a humanitarian. Indigo is really star seeds. Like, they feel like that they're homesick. They don't belong here. They don't, like, they're just, like, it's weird. Like, you just feel like you don't fit in. Like, you're homesick. Like, even when you're at home, like, you feel like you're not at home, and you just feel lonely and you don't belong here. Like, it's weird. You'll know what I'm talking about if this is you. Alright, second one. Have you ever wanted to escape from your life, either temporarily by drinking, drug taking, gambling, or any other addictive behavior, or permanently by committing suicide? that's self-explanatory. I don't really have to go through that. Also, I want to add to that, because anxiety comes in there. A lot of people have anxiety because when you're not living in the present moment, you are like, I'm saying this because it says, have you ever wanted to escape from life? So it's like you're trying to escape from the present moment, and you're thinking about your future, what you have to do next, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll say other stuff about that too. But it's like you're escaping the present moment. Like, you can't live in the present moment. Like, you have to try to be in body awareness. Like, and I'll say stuff about that too. But if you're trying to escape the present moment, like, that's a lot where anxiety like manifests within you. So if you're living in the present moment and you're like, oh my god, I have to go do this, I have to do this, like, I have to call this person, like, you're escaping the present moment and you're thinking about the future, when, you know what I mean? So what I like to do when, like, I see myself doing that is I like to, like, say to myself, like, whatever I'm doing, like, anything I'm doing, like, oh, I'm walking to the kitchen, I'm picking up the fork to wash it, I'm using the sponge and wiping it down, I'm getting soap, like, literally, like, when you're in your present moment, like, to stay in your present moment, if you don't know how to do body awareness or meditating, mindful meditating, then just, like, say your activities, like, each step that you're doing, and it will bring you back into your present moment. So, yeah. So the third one is, do you have ambivalence about life, regret about being born, and sometimes wish you were dead? Yeah, like, you wish that you were never born, like, you know what I mean? Um, yeah, and that you wish you were sometimes dead, like, for whatever reason, like, even, like, from drugs or depression, like, just wanting to not be around, you know what I mean? Um, or feeling like people would be better off if you died, like, if you weren't around in their lives, like, you think you might be a nuisance or something like that, you know what I mean? Okay, so number 4, do you feel disappointed in sex or impotent or fail to have orgasms? Not going to go into that. We don't need to. So, number 5, did you have some trauma, distress, or difficulty physically or emotionally between conception and the age of 3 to 5, including birth trauma? I also am going to be putting out videos for severe trauma therapy. I have a lot of experience with it. I'll make a video and explain all of that, but I am going to put out modules and stuff like that. I know a lot about trauma. I actually have papers on that too. I just have to find them. So, including birth trauma, it can even be like when you're in your mother's stomach. Like, if, oh crap. If, like, your mom is getting emotionally abused, physically abused, like, she's not stable, like, she's going through shit, like, during her pregnancy, like, that can actually affect you, inside of her. So birth trauma can, like, also be associated with conception trauma. And the other things, yeah, so see how it says, like, 3 to 5, like, it's kind of like your root chakra is, like, the developing one, like, when you're first born, like, up until a certain age of your upbringing. Okay, where am I? Okay, number 6. Do you feel insecure and maybe compensate for that feeling, for example, by hoarding, buying things you do not really need, or refusing to spend your money? So pretty much, like, you hold on to things, you buy things for no reason to make yourself feel better, or if you feel insecure, and you buy something really expensive just because you want to feel good about, the fact that you bought something expensive, but you don't even really need it or any of that. Overspending, hoarding onto things, whatever. Or refusing to spend money. Like, if you don't spend money, then it's kind of like you're blocking from receiving more money. Number 7 is your energy low or unpredictable, leaving you often feeling weak, tired, or sick? Number 8, do you have physical problems in your legs or feet, or suffer from hemorrhoids or chronic constipation? Number 9, have you suffered from depression? Number 10, have you ever indulged in self-destruction behavior, hurting yourself by cutting, burning, overdosing, etc.? even not even necessarily overdosing, but just self-destruction, as in doing drugs in general, is a coping mechanism. Anything self-destructive, putting yourself in bad relationships, continuing to let people hurt you, um, having toxic things in your life that affect you. Okay. Number 11, were you abused emotionally, sexually, or physically, or neglected during the very early years? Again, we're talking about from birth to early years. Number 12, were you separated from a parent before the age of 4? Again, for example, due to illness, either your own or of one of your parents. So, yeah, death or whatever. Or even if they were an addict and they got up and left and you felt abandoned or felt like it was your fault or you did something wrong, why they aren't around or something like that. Like, that could also be bad. That's actually a big thing. Yeah, that's a big thing. Like, that's something that you would check that off for. Were you in an incubator for some time after birth? Kind of also birth trauma. Do you have problems with self-esteem, self-confidence, or self-worth? And have you ever been abusive to other people emotionally, physically, or sexually? That can also be using sex as a mechanism, kind of like a weapon. You know what I mean? Like using sex as a weapon can be like that, or purposely hurting people for attention, or like if you like somebody and you're kind of like torturing them to try to play hard to get, you know what I mean? Physically abusing people. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully my phone has memory and this does not shut off. Okay, so basics of the root chakra, all right? So the way it looks, you can look this up too. It has all the chakras up into your root chakra to your crown. So the site is about 4 inches in diameter. Its physical site is at the perineum, that bit of tissue between anus and scrotum, or anus within vagina, and in good health that extends down between your legs, swirling down into the earth in a cone of light. So, like, pretty much, like, what I do is, like, when I want to ground myself, like, you're, like, grounding yourself into nature, I picture myself on the earth, and I picture myself kind of like a tree, and I picture myself, like, in my head, like, my body standing on the earth, like, with roots, like a tree would be, going into the earth down to the core. Like, that helps, too. So that kind of, like, is kind of like, it, extends down between your legs, rolling down into the earth in a cone of light. You can also think of any kind of light that resonates with you. I usually use white light. Like, yeah. So the color of it is red. It spins with the same frequency as the ruby gem. I don't really know if that has anything to do with, I think it's July. Is it July? July is like the ruby gemstone. I don't think it does. Whatever. So the activation and development, the root chakra is activated immediately after the moment of incarnation at birth. Its maximal rate of development is during the first few months of life, though focus on the root chakra continues until the age of 3 to 5 years. Okay, so I was a little off. Though development of the whole energy system continues throughout life, the root chakra will become our primary focus again between 30 and 34, and again at 60 to 64, and again 90 to 94. Okay. At these times, we will find ourselves focusing on issues associated with security, belonging, where we want to live, and with whom, and how we really feel about ourselves. See, good stuff. Our lives may change quite dramatically at these times as we are called to reassess our roots, which is really hard because, like, if you're stuck in a rut or you have these beliefs that you do certain things, and it's hard to, like, change them. Like, it's hard to change your beliefs to create your different reality for you, but your beliefs control, like, your choices and your decisions, and the actions and the words and the thoughts and the vibrations and the frequencies and the energy that we throw off into the universe creates our reality. So you can't really blame anybody else, because you're making the decisions and the choices that you're making, that's going to lead to your actions, which leads to your reality. So to do this, it's more than just like doing this. Like, you have to act on it, like massive action, radical shifts, you know what I mean? So the glandular association, the root chakra is associated with the adrenal glands, which spring into action when our survival is threatened and which govern the fight or flight response when we are in danger. Pretty much the fight, flight, or freeze is our survival mechanism. People with trauma have a more serious fight, flight, or freeze response. For me, subconsciously, I have a fear of the unknown because I was brought up in danger and I never knew what was going to happen next. So I actually have problems of my own, which I will do a video about, where my body is always in fight, flight, or freeze mode, because it always thinks that it's going to be in danger. Even consciously, like what I'm seeing around me, I'm not, and I can literally handle anything that comes my way. Like, I'm still standing after all the shit that I've been through, but that's besides the point. Obviously, if you're here too, there you go. Neurological connection, I don't even know what the hell this says. The coccygeal, so it's Coccygeal plexus, which supplies the anal and genital region. Associated auric body, it's associated with the first auric layer, the etheric body, which is bluish gray in color and extends to about 1 inch from the physical body, following all its contours both internally and externally. So I'm assuming that's like your aura. Yeah, I think that's your aura. It's like a bluish gray, like the gray, when it's grayish or like a muddy color, it's not good for your aura. Like, you can do like binaural things and meditations on like cleansing your aura too. There's a lot of that on YouTube. So survival, the root chakra aims to keep us alive no matter what, until we complete what we came here to do. Hence the association with the adrenal glands. So again, we're all here for a purpose. It's just finding our purpose and being open to receiving messages and, just letting your spiritual realm in and being ready to be awakened and enlightened and find out what your purpose is. I didn't find my purpose by this, but there's meditations. You can do guided meditations to go to your higher self, stuff like that. Hopefully I have enough time on my phone. We're going to try this. So, functions of the root chakra. Those were the basics of the root chakra. Functions of the root chakra. Basic needs and instincts. It governs our basic instincts: eating, drinking, sleeping, sex, self-preservation, shelter, and procreation, and thus deals with our senses of inner security and stability. So, yeah, like inner security, how you feel about yourself, stability, if you're stable, with all those things too, like taking care of yourself, the necessities of life, like eating, drinking, sleeping, sex, shelter, like those are all necessities that we need. So grounding, it gives us a firm foundation, enabling us to withstand the impact of life and have a sense of belonging and identity. So in order to ground, you need to have those things. Like, you need to have a sense of belonging and identity. Like, if you feel like you're floating and not in a good way, kind of like just drifting through life, not knowing what the hell you're doing, it's hard to be grounded. I can give you tips on grounding too. I'll do that in another video. So good judgment. One of the tips that I can give you that are real quick is if you have wooden floors, not like hardwood that are like laminated and have like that sleek, like shiny like thing on it, but if you have a part in your house, like I have it, like look, my floors are completely like wood and like there's nothing on it. Like my house is like mad old. So if I walk around on it barefoot, it's wood, like it's nature, so it grounds you. So if you go outside and walk on nature, like it grounds you because it's nature, which is abundant, which is infinite, which is, yeah. So, all right, good judgment. It assures us of the gift of good judgment, a tool necessary to avoid danger while still allowing us to be adventurous and take risks. Yeah. Self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-worth. It supports our self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-worth by reminding us that we are magnificent spiritual beings here being human, and prepares us to deliver our unique message to the world and fulfill our mission as a human being. Pretty much what I'm doing, like, as a light worker. You could be something different, but yeah, I don't really need to explain that. You'll know. Physical aspects. It governs the lower limbs, the hips, the skeleton, and the anus, and also the penis in men. Women's sexual organs are governed by the sacral chakra, the chakra of the emotions, and therefore most women find sex most satisfying in the context of a loving, nurturing relationship. Men whose sexual equipment is governed by the root may see sex as a matter of survival. However, sexuality and sensuality for both men and women are governed by the sacral chakra. And after I do all the videos for, see, I have a problem with my throat because of my my anxiety and trauma, and yeah, and I'll tell more about that, but I want to make sure that I can do all this before my phone runs out of memory. So after I do all of these, I do have a sacral chakra too, which we will go into that. And as it goes on, like I will get each chakra that keeps going up to keep doing these for everybody. So yeah, sex is different for men and women. Sex for women is like a loving, like, oh my god, spiritual sex is the best though. Like when you feel connected and like you feel like they like took a piece of your soul. They can't literally take a piece of your soul with them, but like when you feel like they took a piece of your soul by having sex with them, like it's incredible. Like it's amazing. It's I cannot even describe what it feels like to have that happen to you, but it's fucking amazing. Like it's crazy. Like it's on a whole nother level. But women, if you're anything like I am, don't get addicted to the sex. Like, because it's different with men. Like it says, like they're from the root, we're from the emotions. So our emotions go into sex. Like guys will be like, oh, why can't I have a one night stand? And I'm like, because I don't want to get like addicted to like wanting to have sex with you and like get all like hot and bothered and like want you. Like, you know what I mean? Like women, you know this. Like if you have somebody, at least for me, if I have good sex with somebody, like I'm gonna want to keep having sex with them. And like that's usually how I always found my next boyfriend. Like I kind of like was considered, you know, like a whore. I'm not a whore, but like, you know, I had my shit. I did my shit. I did my fair shit in my back in my day and whatever. But like I was kind of like finding who I enjoyed having sex with a lot. Like, and that's how like I would find out who I wanted to date. So I use sex as that kind of. Men use it as survival. It's a whole different kind of like their self-esteem, confidence. You know, it's a whole different type of thing. So hopefully I still have time. All right. And if things go wrong, once we know the functions of any chakra, it is easy to work out what might befall us later if it is blocked, weak, or underdeveloped. Also, a thing that I do to balance out your chakras, if you can picture all your chakras spinning, like if you can look up stuff on how your chakra looks, like all of them, like up the spinal and then the third eye and your root chakra, like if you can picture that in your head and picture all the balls spinning, it helps a lot. Like, I don't know how, but it does. So if you want to develop your root chakra, think of a red ball spinning, like, where your root chakra is, like, down, like, here. Like, the dog's in the way. You can look it up. It's easy. So, depression and poor inner security. It could also be your inner child, too, which I'll tell you more about that, too. Contentment and robust health, either physically, emotionally, or spiritually, often elude us, in poor self-confidence, low self-esteem, and self-worth, with feelings of insecurity, lack of belonging, isolation, lead us to suffer depression. Yeah, like, if you don't fit in, you are awkward, people think you're weird, like, it can ruin your self-confidence and self-esteem, but it's like, embrace that. Like, that's your uniqueness. Like, that's your authenticity. Like, that's what you need. That's what you bring to the table that nobody else does. So you need to find that, like, in yourself, like, your self-worth. Like, it's a big thing. Like, people think I'm weird, and it's like, yeah, I am weird, but, like, the weird people are, like, not saying that, like, only weird people are, like, good people, but, like, that's what, like, makes everybody unique. Like, everybody has something about them that makes them unique and weird, but it's like, it's a good thing. Like, they bring something to the table that somebody else doesn't, and that's why we're abundant. Like, every single person is different. Like, every single person does something differently. You can relate to somebody, and you can resonate with somebody that likes the same things that you like and does the same things you do, but neither one of you are going to be exactly the same. Like, you can tell somebody an issue that you had or an experience that you had, and they can, like, understand, why you felt like that, but they will never experience the emotions that you literally had with that experience. Like, it's abundant. Like, everybody's different. It's infinite. It's ongoing. Like, it's limitless. It's endless. Infinite. Like, whatever. So, yeah, this can do with your inner child, too. Which I can help you try to nurture your inner child and stuff, which helps a lot with your root chakra. So, let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Ambivalence about survival. Depression and isolation result in ambivalence about living, and we may tend to opt out. We may do this temporarily by disassociating emotionally and psychologically, absenting ourselves from the present, or by changing our reality by using alcohol, drugs, gambling, sex, food, etc. Overdoing things, addiction, being excessive with these things. Sometimes we may want to leave permanently, and suicide becomes an option. Okay, so with this, I literally recently did this. I disassociated myself from reality. I cut everybody out of my life. Like, I deleted Facebook. I deleted Messenger. Like, I just didn't want to be bothered by anybody. And it was the craziest thing. I also have a situation of why I did that, but still, like, I did that. And, like, as I was growing up, I'll talk about more about this in a different one about trauma, but, like, when you grow up in chaos, you attract to chaos. So it's like the abnormal becomes normal, you know what I mean? So, disassociating emotionally. If you can consider yourself numb, like, nothing bothers you, like, it's just kind of like, oh, yeah, okay, but it's like a big thing that happened, and you're just like, yeah, fuck it, like, whatever, like, you're numb to your emotions, like, you are so into chaos, and and you don't even mean to be. I don't mean it in a bad way, but, like, you attract chaos because that's what you're used to. Like, I did the same thing. I literally did, like, up until, not too long ago. But I even knew all this stuff, and I still let chaos in my life. Like, abnormal becomes normal. Like, things that people would be like, what the fuck? You're just like, yeah, like, okay. Like, it doesn't faze you anymore. Like, you're just like, unthinkable. Like, yeah. So, addictions and eating disorders, temporary escapes via drugs, alcohol, sex, relationships, gambling, work, caffeine, sugar, binging, starving or taking care of others so we can avoid ourselves lead us to the risk of addiction and eating disorders. I have a tendency, as I'm a light worker, so like I tend to do this anyways, but I always put everybody before myself. I always want to take care of everybody before myself. I put their needs before myself. You know, it's kind of like an addiction, like with I just don't want to take care of myself. Like I want to take care of everybody else, but it's also like a light working humanitarian thing. Like, so it's kind of irrelevant, but at the same time, I'm trying to just give you an example of like what that means in that sense, of the part where it says taking care of others so we can avoid ourselves. Cynicism and negativity, chronic lack of contentment and joy lead to cynicism and negativity, which further isolate us and increasing our sense of rejection as we spiral down into a state of permanent disappointment with life. So, you're so negative that you just, permanent disappointment with life. That's like the main thing there. Sense of rejection, spiral down into a state of permanent disappointment. You chronic lack. You have no contentment with joy, which leads to just negativity. So people pleasing. Fear, rejection, or criticism make us desperate for approval. We therefore try to please everyone, becoming irrationally obsessive. Obsequious. I can't even say it. Obsequious. Obsequious. I can't say it. I know the word, I just can't say it. Humiliating ourselves by lack. Alright, I'm gonna start over. People pleasing. Fear, rejection, or criticism make us desperate for approval. We therefore try to please everyone, becoming irrationally obsequious, humiliating ourselves by lacking the courage to say what we think and feel and add to our self-loathing. That's a huge problem that I had. I let everybody walk all over me, and I lost my root chakra, and now I have problems with my throat, and I can't swallow anything, because, like, your root chakra is, like, your speech, like, you're speaking your mind, and I never did, and I let so much shit happen to me, and I never told people how they made me feel. I never said the things that I wanted to say. Like, I'll tell you more about that, but, like, that's also your throat chakra. Like, you need to speak how you feel to people. You can't let people hurt you and you not stand up for yourself, okay? Black and white thinking. Oh man, this is totally my shit. We are unable to integrate the truth that those we love have faults and those we may not like still have good points. Thus, we idolize some and demonize. Wow! Sorry, guys. Thus, wow, this sucks. Thus, we idolize some and demonize. I don't know why I can't do it. Look. Where is it? It's not really. It's kind of blurry. Demonize? I'm sorry. Thus we ideally... Why can't I say this? Idealize? Ideal is. Thus we idealize... I can't say it. Oh my god. Thus we... IDEALIZE. Some, I'm thinking idolize, right? Some and demonize. I don't know why I can't say it. I'm sorry. I'm not an idiot either. DEMONIZE. Others. I know what they say too. I just can't say the words. This way of thinking may affect not only our relationships, but also our opinions and judgments in every area of our lives. I'm just going to say something. I was in an 11-year relationship with my son's father. He's an extremist. He's an addict. And I always said there's no gray area with him. Like, if he was going to do something, it was either going to be black or white, and it was never white. Like, literally, it was never white. It was always black. But there was no in-between. You know what I mean? Like, there's no gray area. It's either black or white. Like, there's no in-between. Like, you can't look at both sides from, like, good and bad and, like, look at the positive and the negative. Like, it's either good or bad. Nothing in between. Okay. Poor judgment and risk-taking behavior. Willingness to take risks is a laudable characteristic, but here we flirt with disaster, angrily testing